Weather Channel, your local forecast. WeatherScope.
Well, summertime has kicked into full gear as the heat wave covers a good chunk of the country. Good afternoon. I'm Bill Keneally.
And I'm Bob Stokes. From the northeast to way down south and stretching all the way to the west coast, we're seeing 90s, even 100-degree temperatures. In some cases, it's dangerous, so keep the water and the fans handy. Only the dedicated athletes will be out hitting the tennis courts or jogging paths in New York City today. Temperatures and dew points will again bring very hot temperatures to the metro area. Temperatures will range from the mid-80s into the upper 90s, with the cooler temps being near the water. Again, please be extremely careful outside. The humidity will make the heat index about 105 again today. Well, you did have to be stern of body to take that heat jogging, but it's a healthy habit and can't argue with health. At the same time, you need to take it easy because the hot temperatures are making it feel like it's 102, 103, and in some cases 105 degrees, as we just mentioned, especially in the nation's capital. Now, extreme heat warnings are in effect for Philadelphia, getting into northern Delaware, and the southern part of New Jersey, and also 90s all the way up into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, into Omaha, Nebraska, where it's generally 93 around Lincoln. You can see it's 94 in Chicago right now in the heat of the afternoon, 94 in Dallas, 96 in Washington, D.C., and a little bit cooler than yesterday with an 84-degree reading in New York City. But when you factor in these high dew points, that means there's a lot of moisture in the air. It makes it feel oppressively uncomfortable, and you can see the dew point in Little Rock is 73, so it's really oppressive and feeling very uncomfortable. 65 in Chicago. Feels like 101 in the nation's capital now, 91 in New York City, 102 in Little Rock. The way the air actually feels on your skin is 96 in Chicago. Not as bad as it was about this point in the past couple of days, but still quite uncomfortable, and 100 in Oklahoma City. Now, what do you do in extreme heat? Well, beware of these physical conditions that may develop. Dehydration, severe sunburn, heat cramps, and heat exhaustion, even heat stroke. And so these are the symptoms that generally result. You can see general weakness, heavy sweating, and dizziness. And if you start to experience these warning signs, you do need to stay indoors as much as possible in the air conditioning and drink plenty of water or juice. Avoid the alcohol and avoid strenuous activity. Don't overexert yourself. Now, here's a look at the jet stream and the reason why we're so hot, at least one of the reasons why. The upper level flow is keeping the cool air to the north, and the hot air to the south. That sums it up in a sentence. And there's the forecast for Friday. 90s across much of the nation's heartland and getting into the mid-Atlantic region once again. What's up with the thunderstorms across the country? Here's Bill.
All right, Bob, thanks a lot. Let's start you off by looking at our satellite picture, and look at those storms now traversing Minnesota into Wisconsin. These guys are really packing a wallop right up in this area. If you have some travel plans, maybe north on 51 or north on 43, be on your guard later on today into tonight. Right now we have a couple of tornado warnings. We'll show you those visibly on the radar momentarily. Also, by the way, watching the goings-on very intently down here, down below Louisiana. That looks like it's probably a tropical depression. We'll have an advisory. If it is issued, it will be out in the next 10 or 15 minutes, and therefore we're waiting with bated breath on the goings-on here south of Lake Charles. First up, though, let's talk about the upper Midwest and the western lakes. We have some pretty warm air today, even up there, that little peninsula. It was up in the mid-80s up around the Houghton Hancock Airport. Now big storms are developing. Jet stream is roaring overhead, really helping to lift that air. And there's some turning of the wind with height, so there is a potentially tornadic outbreak expected across the region. For now, we have severe thunderstorm watches in parts of Michigan and a good chunk of northern Wisconsin. Let's show you that radar view. And you can see our storms, this area east of Houghton Lake down to the west end of Saginaw Bay. Watch out from Muskota down to Midland and Bay City. And likewise here in the Rhinelander-Merrill area, watch out. Tornado warning in northeastern Marathon County till 4:15 local time. Watch out in the town of Hogarty, and also Sawyer County, Wisconsin. Tornado warning until 4:15 local time. So again, these storms mean business. Tornadoes have been spotted or are indicated on radar. They're heading to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. We'll head down south, talk about our low pressure developing. Already on the northern periphery, getting some thunder showers in the New Orleans area. Check out the lightning strikes here too. And interesting to note, everything is moving cyclonically or counterclockwise around that big broad area of low pressure. Big time lightning strikes now anywhere around Charlotte, Gaston County, Cleveland County. You guys have a warning right now, and running all the way up to about the Smith Mountain Lake area and the Carr Reservoir in Virginia. Watch out, boaters. There's our New Orleans close-up. Any rain that's out there is heading slowly to the west at about 15 miles per hour. There's my close-up. And it looks like on the north end of the causeway, watch out around Mandeville and heading west towards Covington and Hammond, that rain coming your way. The rains in Florida pretty much are edging towards the southwest. Looks like we're going to get some cell merging going on here. Hopefully the city of Naples will stay dry. Metro Atlanta, the big storm right over Lawrenceville, Georgia, right there in Gwinnett County. Let's take you up north. I want to show you a radar view. With that trough in place, we have low pressure. We're able to lift that air. And presto, we have thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall reported from Forked River right down the parkway to Atlantic City. The Atlantic City airport had a wind gust of 56 miles per hour. Expanding out, plenty of rain on I-64 out of Richmond all the way down to Cape Henry there. So watch out